Hey, Milu.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, I'm so excited you're going to be on the show tonight.
It is a pleasure to be here. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm sorry that it's taking so long, but you know John, he's always in makeup for 2 hours.
Oh, it's
Yaddy,
okay.
yaddy, yaddy.
It's nice to be here, so I don't mind waiting a little bit.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
I don't know what you're staring at here, but that's my favorite picture. I always look at this before we go on. This tropical island, it always calms me.
Well, it may be your intuition speaking to you, because I feel you're going to go there.
Oh yeah, maybe in 10 years I'll go there, but not.
No. I feel it's more like 2 months.
Are you kidding me?
Set your intent that you want to be there. Listen to your intuition. I don't think it's 10 years. I feel it's more like 2 months.
You know, Milu, that's so funny because my boyfriend asked me if I wanted to go to the Caribbean with him, and I've been sitting on the fence about it because of work. I didn't think I'd be able to get off because of the holidays.
I don't feel you have to sit on the fence anymore.
You see me here in 2 months?
Absolutely. Now, would I lie to you?
I'm getting intentional.
There you go.
Milu, what are you, psychic?
Call me
For
anything
God's
you like.
sake.
I'm open.
You're awesome. I'll see you later.
No problem.
Give me your wallet.
Journey with me, baby. Take you on a ride. Cut the chase, let's race down to the lifestyle. Judging makes you crazy. Easy and so free. Come with me, 'cause mentally I'm lovely. To be loved, fearlessly to be loved, so holy. BuddhaBaby, shake me in my belly. To be loved, fearlessly to be loved, so holy. BuddhaBaby, shake me in my belly.
Hello, and welcome everyone to our weekly talk show From Fear to Love. And once again, thank you for joining us on our journey of self-discovery. My name is Dr. John Querci, and tonight, as usual, my co-host, who presently isn't here, Robin Paris. Robin right now is a bit detained, packing her makeup bag for a trip that she just found out about that she's going to take to the Bahamas. Anyway, tonight's show is called Intuition and Intention. And what do we mean by this? This is a very powerful show. First of all, what is intuition? Intuition is when we know something, we feel comfortable with it, we know it's right, we feel it's right, but we can't rationalize it. We can't figure it out. Why does it make sense? And the secret is because it comes from our heart, not from our brain. So it can't be figured out. It's not meant to be figured out. It's just meant to be right. It's the little child in all of us who's directing us, who's showing us where to go in life. It takes courage to follow this because we've been trained that we have to reason everything out. But to really manifest what we really are and what we want, we have to follow our gut. Now, what is intention? Intention is rather easy, but once again, a bit complicated. When one makes an intention, first of all, if it's not real, if it's not good for us, if it's not really something that's going to benefit us as a human, it won't happen. The universe won't allow that to happen. So it guides us and controls us a bit. So how do we figure out what intention we want to make? Well, we have to figure out who we are and what we want. How do we do that? By being alone with ourselves, by following our intuition, following our sixth sense, which guides us to our intention. And that's why intuition and intention play such a pertinent role. Now, about intention. We can't wish for it. We can't hope for it. We can't pray for it. We can't feel we deserve it. We have to say, this is what we're doing. And you notice what I said, what we're doing. So we don't say tomorrow. We don't say in the near future. We don't say one day. We have to begin our intention immediately, as if it's already acting, it's already in motion. So even though you don't know why it's going to happen, you know it's going to happen. So you be very specific. The more specific you are, the better the intention will unfold. If you say, I want to meet my significant other in the near future. What's the near future? A month, a day, 6 months? Or the future? Could be years. You might be waiting a long time. So start off with something reasonable. I really am in the process of meeting my significant other, the person I'm really going to love. And this is going to occur by the spring, by June. So you put a time frame. And then you go one step further. You describe the person in detail. The more specific you are, the more powerful the intention. So time, description, what you expect, what you want, and it will manifest itself. So tie together intuition, intention, and come up with manifestation. That's what tonight's show is all about. Stay tuned, and you'll hear more. We have a very special guest tonight, Melu Polycarp, who's a very well-known psychic from the Manhattan area. It's a pleasure for us to have him. Stay tuned. Well, welcome everyone to my favorite part of the show, Crosstalk. And today's a very special Crosstalk because we have a very special guest, Melu Polycarp, a very well-known psychic from Manhattan. The reason we brought such an important person to our show today is earlier I talked about intention and intuition. I explained what they were and what we needed to get there. But you know, it's unfamiliar, uncomfortable ground for most of us. So we need a journey guide. And the journey guide, in this case, is a psychic. And there's many different types of psychics. There's astrologers, there's mediums, there's tarot card readers, there's energy readers, and many more. It doesn't make a difference which method you pick or who you pick, as long as you have faith in the person and you trust the person is really authentic. They can give you insight into where you are in life, where you're headed in life. And the thing of it is, the most important thing to remember is, regardless of what they say, as our first show said, the choice is yours. It's your choice. Melu may say, John, you met this woman you're going to marry. And I can say, well, yes, but I don't want to get married. It's my choice. So I may be making a mistake in not getting married because I'm gutless. Or I may follow my gut and follow my intuitive and do so. The bottom line is, it's your choice. So, Melu,
Welcome.
what do you have to say about this?
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Great to be with you too.
And tell me, what do you feel about the Journey Guide Psychic?
John, I think you said something that's very important, and that is never to turn over your ability to make decisions for yourself to anyone else. And I always say that to my clients. I will give you the information, okay? But it's up to you to make the final decisions. And let me give you an example. I have a client, and I did a reading for her about 5 or 6 years ago. And I described about 4 or 5 gentlemen she was going to meet. And I gave her a little bit of information about each one of them. And she, towards the end, she says, well, which one of them am I going to marry? I'm like, well, I don't know who you're going to marry, and even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you because you're going to live with the person. It's your decision.
Yes.
And she says, no, I want to know. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
If you want more information, when you meet them, as you go along, you can call me, contact me, or if I see you, you can ask me questions. But
yeah, I think that the risk that one runs into when one sees a psychic, if we are the authors of our own life, but some people, if you're told, well, you're going to go and do this, they try to fulfill the prophecy without necessarily relying on their own heart and what their own instincts. So I think that that's wonderful because you completely empower them to make a decision.
It is very important as a psychic to empower people. Okay, it's not to make decisions for them unless you see something that's going to go wrong. Okay, and I will give you an example. I have a friend I've known for over 20 years. And she was going through a divorce, and she was wondering, well, am I ever going to meet someone else? I said, yes, you will meet more than one person. However, there is one gentleman you're going to meet, excuse me, that I don't feel you should be involved with. And she says, okay. But when the time came for her to make the decision not to become involved with that gentleman, she ignored me, and she paid the consequences.
But maybe there were lessons in that for her, and that was something that should not have been avoided for her.
You see, it's easy for you to say, but when you have a friend in that situation, it bothers you. It's like a sister.
Yes.
You know, you wouldn't want your sister to be abused in any way, and she was abused a little bit. In any event, that's the only time I will tell someone what to do.
So,
but at the end, it's always your choice.
So when somebody is coming to you for a reading and you see something that ignites in them a longing or a desire that they've had, how do you get them to take action to fulfill that intention?
Well, I try to give them as much information as far as what's to come, okay? And I also try to give them validations, okay? And also, I try to find ways to empower the person, okay, to feel like, to trust themselves, basically, okay, to have confidence in themselves, to be able to make, and knowing that they are going to, first of all, have the proper amount of information, and also trust that they are going to make the right decision. That's my process. That's my way of. I try not to make this difficult when I read for someone. I use to keep it simple.
Stupid.
Yes. Thank you. So, because that way, you can get the information across, and the person will get it, and they will move on and do what they need to do. Basically, that's how I go about helping my clients, basically.
When somebody comes to you and Well, you were talking about with your friend that you saw a path that there was a possibility of her taking, and your feeling was to keep her from going down that path, but in the end she did.
Yes, that was her choice.
That was her choice. And when you saw her afterwards, I mean, because you're friends, did she tell you that there were lessons for her for going down that path, or I should have just completely listened to you?
Yes, now she feels that way. But at the time, she felt that she could change the person. Now, that's interesting. Now she feels like she cannot change people. I guess
so
that's
a
the
lesson, isn't it?
Yeah, come to think of it.
Yeah.
That was the lesson she learned from that.